Assalamu alaikum. This is Abdul Ghaffar Abbasi here. Today we will discuss the chapter number 2, that is speed of reaction or rate of reaction. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. These are the contents of this chapter. Number 1, types of reaction on the basis of speed, like slow reaction, moderate reaction or fast reaction. Then the second point which we will discuss in this chapter, that is how can we tell whether the reaction is slow or fast, by main 2 points. Number 1, by calculating the volume of gas produced. Second, by calculating the mass of the reactant consumed or remaining. These are the 2 points. Second, then we will discuss another portion of this chapter, that how the chemical reaction take place. The rate of the reaction depends on the 2 important factors. Then we will discuss these main factors in detail, that factors affecting the rate of reaction, like concentration, temperature, pressure, surface area and catalyst. Now the types of reaction. There are basically three types of reaction on the basis of the speed or the time taking. Number 1 is slow reaction. It will take a lot of time, it's very slow. So examples for the slow reaction is fermentation or conversion of fruit juice into alcohol, and the second is that rusting of iron in the presence of air and water. So these are the 2 examples of the slow reaction. Now we will discuss the second type, that is the moderate reaction. It will take not lots of time, or we can say that it's very fast reaction. It is moderate, it will take some time. Now the examples for this reaction are that reactions of the calcium with water and browning of the cut fruits. These are the 2 examples under the heading of the moderate reactions. Now the third type is that fast reaction. Examples: precipitation of silver chloride from the reaction of the aqueous sodium chloride and silver nitrate. This reaction will be the fast reaction. Then the second very common example is that explosion of the petrol or the combustion of fuels. That will be very fast reaction. So these are the 3 main types of the reactions on the basis of speed. One is fast reaction, another is moderate reaction, and third one is the slow reaction. Now the very important point is that how can we tell that the reaction is slow or fast, or how chemical reaction takes place. What is the main reason that these reactions are taking place or not? Reactions take place when the particles collide with one another with a certain amount of energy, and that energy is called as the activation energy. If the particles if they are colliding with one another and they are having the activation energy, enough amount of activation energy, then the reaction will take place. Otherwise the reaction will not take place. Activation energy. What is activation energy? As this topic we have discussed in our previous energy changes chapter. Activation energy, the minimum amount of energy needed for the particles to react, is called the activation energy, and it is different for each reaction. We cannot say that they all have the same activation energy. No, they all have the different activation energy. Now rate of reaction depends on 2 main factors. Number 1 is that the rate of the reaction depends on the 2 things. These are the 2 main important points. The rate of reaction depending on these 2 points. Number 1, frequency of the collisions between particles, whether they are have effective collisions or not. They are having we can say that high speed or not. Then second is that energy with which particles collide, means activation energy. If they have the energy, enough amount of energy when they are colliding, then we can say that that will be the reaction will take place, and that reaction rate of reaction will depend on these 2 main points. Now then we can conclude this topic by these 2 points. If the particles collide with less energy than the activation energy, there will be no reaction take place. The particles will just bounce off each other. There will be no chemical reaction. If the particles collide with more energy than the activation energy, or equal we can say, then what will happen? There will be the reaction. The reaction will take place definitely, if because they have the we can say activation energy. Now the key concept of this chapter, that anything that increases the number of effective or successful collisions between reactant particles will speed up the reaction. The speed of reaction will entirely depending on the effective collisions. Now the very important topic is that how can we tell whether the reaction is slow or fast? We can tell whether the reaction is slow or fast by following these 2 conditions. Number 1, by calculating the volume of gas produced in any reaction. Second one, by calculating the mass of the reactants consumed or the remaining. By these 2 main points we can say that we can identify whether the reaction is slow or fast. If the volume of gas which is produced at the product side, that is, we can say that high, so we can say that the speed of reaction is the reaction is fast. And if the reactants are which are consuming and then they are forming the product, for example there are 50 reactants, and the reactants consumed after some time, only 10 reactants are consumed after some time, so we can say that reaction is slow. So these 2 options we can calculate. With the help of calculation we can identify whether the reaction is fast or slow. Now let's look at the number 1 point, that is by calculating the volume of gas produced. Say suppose this is the reaction: calcium carbonate, marble chips, they are reacting with hydrochloric acid, and then they will produce calcium carbonate, CO2 gas, carbon dioxide gas, and H2O. Now we can apply this number 1 point here on this reaction, and then we can calculate, then we can identify whether the reaction is slow or fast. So number 1 point is that by calculating the volume of gas produced. So this will be the diagram, as initially I have told that there will be 2 type of questions in your past paper related to this topic. One will be the diagram, experimental setup, and then second will be the graph based question. So this is the number 1 experimental diagram related to this. So we can in this conical flask we will add marble chips, CaCO3 calcium carbonate, and then we will also add the HCl. So that is the reason reaction mixture is here. This is conical flask, and this is the gas syringe we can say, and that is tightly packed. So this is the experimental setup for this reaction. Now this will be the diagram, this will be the graph obtained by this process, by this by calculating the volume of the gas produced. So this will be the graph, and entirely we will discuss related to this graph. Look at here, initially the gradient of the graph is higher, so we will write the 1 point here. As the reaction proceeds, so the reaction gradient of the graph is decreasing, but look at here, at this point the graph becomes 0. So this will be the 3rd point. So we can say that at this point there will be no reaction, there is no volume of CO2 is produced. So this will be the point number 3. So this is the graph. So now the question will be related to these points related to graph. Number 1 is that, number 1 point, as I have told you, that gradient of the graph is largest at the beginning of the reaction, like this one. Here the gradient of graph is largest. If the gradient of the graph is largest, so we can conclude that the speed of reaction is highest. So this is the point number 1. This might be asked in the question paper, so this is very important point. Second point, as I have told you, that as the reaction proceeds, the gradient of the graph decreases, and this means that the speed of reaction is also decreasing. So look at here, as we are moving, the gradient of the graph is decreasing, so we can say that this speed of reaction is also decreasing. So the point number 2 is this one, related to the graph. Last point number 3 is that at some point gradient of the graph becomes 0, and if the gradient of the graph becomes 0 means it is in this way horizontal. It will become in this way horizontal. So this means that no more CO2 gas is produced and the reaction has stopped. So look at this one. So as I have told you on this point, look at here, the graph becomes horizontal. So at this point we can say that there will be no CO2 gas will be produced, the reaction has stopped. So these are the 3 main points when we are, the question is being asked related to the graph. So you people have to understand these 3 points. These are very important points, and the question or the worksheet or the test will be conducted from these 3 points. So these 3 points are very important. Now we are discussing the part 2, how we can calculate, how we can say that whether the reaction is slow or fast by applying the second condition, B condition, that by calculating the mass of the reactant consumed or remaining. This is the second condition through which we can identify that whether the reaction is slow or fast. As I have told you earlier, that the reactants are remaining are more, so we can say that this reaction is slow. If the reactant remaining consumed, if the reactants are consumed more after some time, then we can say that this reaction is fast. This is very common, easy point. So now look at this one. This will be the diagram related to the experimental diagram related to the reactant mass of the reactant consumed or remaining. So this will be the experimental setup. We will use the balance, then this conical flask, and then we will conical flask will be we will have a cotton wool on the top of this conical flask. So there we can say there will be no escaping of the gas from this conical flask, and inside it we have the calcium carbonate and hydrochloric acid inside this conical flask. And then what will happen, we can identify, look at here, at this point we can say that how much reactant has consumed or remaining. So through this we can identify whether the reaction is slow or the fast. This is the experimental setup for the, and there will be stopwatch also for stopwatch for also the calculating the time. So this will be the apparatus which will be used in this experimental setup. Now we are discussing the graph. So this is the graph obtained when we are focusing on the point number 2, the amount of the reactant consumed or the remaining. So in this way we can get the graph opposite to the condition A. So now similarly we will mention the 3 points. Number 1, gradient of the graph is largest at the beginning of the reaction. Look at here, at the beginning of the reaction the gradient of the graph is largest, but as we are moving downwards, what will happen, the gradient of the graph is decreasing. So gradient of the graph is largest at the beginning of the reaction, thus the speed of reaction is highest. This will be the point number 1. Now the point number 2 is that the gradient of the graph decreases with time. This shows that the reaction is reaction slows down, and as we move downwards, as it proceeds, as the reaction proceeds, it will slows down, right? So this will be the point number 2. And the point number 3 is that the gradient of the graph becomes 0 at some point, and this means that the reaction has stopped. Look at the graph. That now look at here, this we can say that in this way we can say that the reaction has stopped. So these are the 3 points related to the mass of the reactant consumed or the mass of the reactant remaining, condition number 2. So this was the topic related to the how can we measure, or how can we tell that the reaction is slow or fast. We can calculate the speed of reaction by these 2 main points. Number 1 was that by calculating the volume of the gas produced, and number 2 was the mass of the reactant consumed or the mass of the reactant remaining. I hope this you understood this topic, part number 1 of this chapter number 2. So we will discuss the next topic in the part number 2. I hope you understood this part 1. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.